Cardano was trading at $1.517589 on the investing.com index at 6/21/1251 GMT on Monday, up by 30.99% on the day. It was the biggest percentage increase in a single day since February 10th, 2021. Welcome to Cardano Land, your daily dose of Cardano. If you're interested in everything around Cardano, this is the place for you. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for us to provide you with more crypto news. And let us know in the comments how much you think Cardano will cost next month. Let's get to it. Cardano's market cap increased to $49.361629 billion, or 3.08% of the overall cryptocurrency market cap, as a result of the upward movement. Cardano's market capitalization peaked at $71.557257 billion. In the previous 24 hours, Cardano had traded in a range of $1.266259 to $1.546881. Cardano has lost 27.72% of its value in the last 7 days. Cardano accounted for $9.726390 billion in 24 hours, accounting for 3.92% of the total value of all cryptocurrencies. In the last 7 days, it has traded in a range of $1.0231 to $2.1462. Cardano is still down 38.31% from its all-time high of $2.46, set on Sunday, May 16, 2021 at its current price. On the investing.com index, Bitcoin was trading at $38,258, up 13.46% on the day, and Ethereum was trading at $2,419.84, up 25.51%. Bitcoin's market cap was $721.598561 billion, accounting for 44.9% of the overall cryptocurrency market cap, while Ethereum's market cap was $283.922890 billion, accounting for 17.7%. Every day, we hear about hacks and people losing their recovery phrases or revealing their private keys in the crypto world. A recovery expression, also known as a private key, establishes ownership and allows access to crypto assets stored on the blockchain. To put it another way, someone with the recovery phrase or private key for an associated wallet or address can access and use the crypto stored there. Although there are several ways to secure cryptocurrency, as we discuss in our article on how to keep your cryptocurrency secured, purchasing a hardware wallet is the simplest way to achieve high levels of protection for your cryptocurrency. Your private keys are held on the computer, where you sign off on transactions with a hardware wallet. This ensures that your private keys are never exposed to your machine or the internet. Hardware wallets are so stable that they could theoretically be used on computers infected with viruses or malware, but this is obviously not a good idea. Wallets like exchange wallets, online wallets, and software wallets, on the other hand, all have one major flaw. The private keys can be exposed to hacked computers and the internet. Exodus and other software wallets are just as stable as the machines on which they're mounted. Although the private keys are encrypted locally, online security flaws and malware infections may still pose a real threat danger to your funds. As a result, the security of your crypto is only as good as your computer. Entrusting their hard-won money to centralized exchanges, which are often hacked, run off with user funds, or simply misplace sensitive information like private keys, is one of the most common ways people lose their crypto. As a result, with many people seeing their crypto assets appreciate in value over time, investing in a hardware wallet is a no-brainer, particularly because they are prohibitively costly. When it comes to selecting a hardware wallet, most people opt for one of two industry titans, Trezor or Ledger. Also, keep in mind that both companies offer a premium wallet with more features and a regular wallet with less. Trezor offers two models, the Trezor Model T Premium and the Trezor One Basic Standard. The Ledger Nano X Premium and Ledger Nano S are two of Ledger's products. Since the key reason you'd buy a hardware wallet is for increased protection, it goes without saying that security is a major consideration when comparing Trezor versus Ledger. There are several other variations to remember when comparing the two brands, aside from the simple hardware wallet configuration of private keys, not leaving either the Trezor or the Ledger. Neither computer has been compromised to date, and any incidents of users losing cryptocurrency with either hardware wallet have been due to user error. Seed phrases and the crypto associated with them, for example, are commonly stored digitally, which exposes seed phrases and the crypto associated with them to hackers and other malicious actors on the internet. Skilled security researchers hacked both the Trezor and the ledger at a security conference, but the hacking techniques were extremely advanced and involved physical access to the actual hardware wallet. These techniques have never been used in the real world, and most users shouldn't be concerned if they don't give others, such as skilled hackers, physical access to their devices. Although both Trezor and Ledger are extremely reliable, it's worth noting that Ledger is not completely open source. This means you won't be able to see the code that goes into the system or the firmware that runs it. Technically, the Ledger team could insert malicious code into the system firmware, causing all Ledger users' crypto to be transferred to an address controlled by them. While this is a highly unlikely scenario given the Ledger team's stakes, such as the failure of a highly profitable company and having to spend the rest of their lives on the run from authorities, it is something to consider. When comparing the Ledger and the Trezor, the price is another significant factor to remember. The prices of the regular Ledger Nano S and Trezor 1 versions are quite similar. The Ledger Nano S costs $59, while the Trezor 1 costs $55. The price gap between the premium Ledger Nano X and the Trezor Model T models, on the other hand, are more apparent. The Model T costs $169.99, while the Nano X costs $119. It's difficult to justify paying $50 more for the Model T when the Nano X has features like being able to attach it to your mobile device via Bluetooth and access your properties on the go. This is particularly when you realize that aside from more asset support, a color touchscreen and Shamir backup splitting the seed phrase into shares, the Model T isn't a significant improvement over the Trezor. If you get the hang of it, both the Trezor and the Ledger aren't too difficult to use. The two-button systems used by the lower-priced models, Trezor 1, Ledger Nano S, are very similar. Trezor and Ledger both have well-designed and user-friendly interfaces. The Trezor Model T's color touchscreen, on the other hand, may be something you want. It makes it easier to see and enter important information, such as the quantities and addresses to which you send crypto, as well as your PIN code. Furthermore, using touchscreens to do stuff like entering passcodes can be more intuitive than using just two keys, Ledger. Aside from having a good color touchscreen, the Trezor Model T and both Trezor models have larger displays than their Ledger equivalents. This is something to think about if you have trouble reading small text. If you can't read the receiving address on your hardware's wallet screen and validate a send to the wrong address, it might be the difference between sending your crypto to the right place and losing it entirely. Since hardware wallets aren't inexpensive, reliability is an important factor to consider when buying one. The Ledger hardware wallets come with a foldable stainless steel casing that makes them more sturdy and gives them a sleeker appearance. The Trezor hardware wallets, on the other hand, are all made of plastic, including the high-end Model T. Purchasing a case with your Trezor will help to balance out the difference in durability. Trezor sells silicone and leather cases in a variety of colors for the Trezor 1, but no cases seem to be available for the Model T. Regardless, the fact that you'll need to purchase a case for extra protection earns Ledger the reliability prize. When choosing between a Trezor and a Ledger, app usability isn't necessarily a factor. This section is meaningless if you only use native apps to handle your crypto properties. However, if you want to get as much versatility out of your hardware wallet as possible, software accessibility should be a factor in your quest. Hardware wallets may be used for two-factor authentication, password management, and signing encrypted messages in addition to operating with other cryptocurrency services, including wallets and exchanges. Conclusion: Ledger wins in terms of price, asset support, longevity, and scale. Trezor is the winner in terms of security, ease of use, and screen. Trezor wins the prize for the most important criterion, security. And when money's on the line, particularly money you can't get back due to the irreversible nature of blockchain transactions, this is critical. Let us know in the comments how much you think Cardano will cost next month, and make sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time at Cardano Land.